Going hot in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, May 19th, 2020. It's 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Friday, May 15th, 2020 at 8:15 a.m. and a supplemental agenda was posted on Friday, May 15th, 2020 at 3:40 p.m.
Thank you. Let's see. Commissioner Miller, first of all, is there anyone in the audience to make public comments to the court on business matters? Seeing none, Commissioner Miller, would you introduce our guest?
Yes, good morning. Commander Larry Bethea with our Veterans One Stop is in court this morning. And given that COVID-19 is going to alter and minimize the celebrations that we're going to have next Monday for Memorial Day, I asked that he come and just give a few words on behalf of veterans prior to our moment of silence.
Okay. All right, Commander, if you'll come up to this microphone right here, and you can sit or stand, whatever you choose to do.
Good morning, Commissioner not here. Veteran One Stop at the Veteran Service Office, Clinton County. I am here to honor the victory on Memorial Day, Monday, and actually give it just a moment of silence for all the veterans in the Clinton County in the United States.
Thank you.
Court, I thank you very much, Judge and commissioners and guests.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
And
you, sir.
thank you. Thank you, and thank you for your service. Okay, at this time, let's stand. We'll do the pledge to the flag. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Okay, we do not have any proclamations today. So I'd like to go just hold consent agenda items for right now. Let's see, is Mike Dixon on? I do not see Mike on. So is Elizabeth on? All right. So much for the well-planned agenda. All right, this time we will go to under the consent agenda. I'd like to recommend the pulls of E3B, E3C, E3D, and E6F. Are there any other pulls recommended by the court? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of those pulls?
Motion to.
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Wilson,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, going, see. Going under E3B, this is maintenance of equipment on an HR item. Right now, there's discussions going on an alternative plan on the maintenance of equipment, where the sheriff's department would be more involved in that. And there'll be a presentation back to the court at the next meeting from the SR as well as HR. And then Dustin Chapman, who's been working on this as well. So I'd make a motion, we defer action on E3B.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Passed. Under E3C, I'd like to hold that for a little later in the meeting. Under E3D, under County Sheriff HR item. So who's presenting that?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
The Sheriff's Office is requesting to fill a vacancy prior to the exhaustion of that paid time off. It is our understanding, though I'd like confirmation from the Auditor's Office during court this morning, but it is our understanding they have the funds available within their budget monies, and so they would like the ability to fill this position. It's vacancy number 802. Immediately being the position becomes vacant at May 31st, and they would like to be able to fill that slot as of June 1st.
Is that filled internal?
The sheriff does have the ability to appoint someone into this specific position. We have not been made aware at the time as to who will be filling that role.
Any
Just know they
questions?
want that flexibility.
Okay.
Is Frances on? Can she confirm the access?
Pardon me, I can't hear you.
Is Frances on? Is she available to confirm that they do have those funds?
We can make it contingent.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me okay, Judge?
Francis, you can confirm that the funds are there.
Yes, sir. They have sufficient budgeted funds there to fill that position before that leave time is exhausted. That's correct.
Is there any questions anyone have? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye. Aye.
Pass.
Judge, also, can I say something real quickly?
Yeah.
I think I understood. Is this your last day in court, Captain Whitlock? This is her last day with us
Oh, I know.
in court. And thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yes, we've enjoyed working with you. Remember accepting your resignation, but you've been a real asset to the county and the community. And whenever you took over, kind of being in charge of the budget side, it was a good thing. We were pleased with how you handled that. So, how many years of service? 30 years. All right. What are you going to do the rest of your life?
I'm going to stay home and have fun.
Okay, good. Well, we hope you enjoy retirement.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pamela.
Okay, on item E6F, I'd like to hold that just for a little bit. I'd like to go to items. I'll tell you, is Mike Dixon got online yet? Is Dustin on?
Yes, sir. Judge Mike, Mike is on.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let me go to under item M. Is Elizabeth on? Okay, again, under additional item discussions of potential action, discussion or action, on revisions, to the order and declaration of McLennan County Commissioners Court declaring a state of disaster for public health, for McLennan County. So, Mike, as, everyone knows, the governor, spoke yesterday and brought revisions, or amendments to his existing order in opening up, more, businesses, and then giving more latitude to businesses that were already open. So I understand that you and the city attorney have worked to have a similar amendment for the commissioners court and the city.
That's correct. The executive order yesterday, GA 23, opened quite a bit. It's very extensive. So what we've done is, first, the order extends your disaster declaration through June 11th, 2020, because that's when the governor's has been extended to. So we'll match up with that, and we've got a while before we have to extend it again. Then what's done, and I've got to give Jennifer a lot of credit for this, is she took the stuff out of the governor's order and cut and pasted in. What we're doing is essentially changing definitions in our order to include these open businesses, where our order defines reopened businesses. It now includes everything that was in the governor's order yesterday with the dates that they become effective. And this is simply to make sure that we're not running afoul of the governor's order. It may be that within the next couple of orders he does, we don't even need a local ordinance anymore. But right now, the thought is that there's still a need for a local ordinance or a local order.
Also on the state's website, Open Texas, there's a lot more definition and explanation around the order than there has been in the previous orders. So I thought in fact, in our frequently asked questions updates, we went through that, but also I would suggest if you have people asking about specifically, most specifics of this order are in that link. So I'd recommend if someone's calling and ask them, you can give them that link, because it not only gives them information about the thing, but,
yes, and there's some general broad categories that if you just read the updates that come out or whatever, you wouldn't catch a lot of stuff that is in there. Like, for example, beauty and personal care industries. Well, tattoo artists are included in there. So you wouldn't initially think to look for tattoo artists in the beauty and cosmetology industry area, but they're in there. So you have to look through all that, and I think we have it all in here.
all right. Are there any questions?
I have one. I wanted to ask Mike a question. The order that we have in front of us, does this order omit the wording? I note that in our order, we reference GA 21 and GA 23. So are we not moving forward with the wording from GA 22 in regards to hair salons?
Well, they're open. We just didn't include the language about the retroactivity because I didn't think it was relevant. But I understand that you wanted to change your vote on that last one because of that language. I thought that we would have an opportunity to in this, but it didn't really, the changes that were made by this new order didn't really give a opportunity to do it. But we anywhere in this order reference retroactivity.
Okay, I guess that's my question. So moving forward, the new order even omits any reference to that. Does that go away with this new order as far as the court moving forward in our disaster declaration to even have that wording? Does that go away since we're not incorporating GA 22?
I don't know that it has that effect, but I think that the overall viewpoint by not including, the reference to GA 22 is just the thought that we're not incorporating that in this order. Now, this order addresses different businesses, but I think it also addresses cosmetology as far as what they can do greater. I'm pretty sure, maybe not. Long and short of it, Commissioner Miller, I don't know that it solves your concern. I wish I would have put something in here that we could have said, going back to the last order, we take out that, but I did this at 10 minutes before I was supposed to be at City of Hewitt Council meeting last night. So that's when I got it done. So I didn't really think through that.
I guess what I'm asking, if it's not incorporated in this new declaration, because we say the foregoing recitals are incorporated herein and made findings of fact. If it's not incorporated, I would think moving forward that we're only sanctioning the GA 21 and GA 23 and then moving forward with what he did yesterday. I would think our reference to GA 22 is overwritten with the adoption of the new order. But you're the attorney.
Well, the fact is, going forward, GA 22 is pretty much superfluous except for that it opened a business. So I think to some extent you're correct there that we're not incorporating language from GA 22 except that in the prior order we have recognized it as a reopened business.
Okay.
And that was from 21.
Right. Okay.
Maybe a few things here and all the way back that we might not totally agree with, but they're generally small. And if you look at the big picture of it, and so the preponderance of the order is something that's beneficial to the community and well accepted, even though it's not perfect, it's good. And so I'd recommend supporting it from that standpoint. So that's my opinion, but what's the pleasure of the court?
I make a motion that we approve the resolution.
Second.
Motion been made, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Thank you. All right, while we're under additional items, I'd like for Elizabeth Thomas, the emergency management coordinator, to kind of give us an update on the numbers. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. As of yesterday at 3 o'clock, we reported no new cases of COVID. We have 4 active cases. 2 of those cases are hospitalized, but not in critical condition. They are actively monitoring 29 people, and we are still at 4 deaths. So that's what's going on for the health update. As for the EOC, we are working on, as y'all saw, that we have been requested to do nursing home testing. So we have some facilities we're working to plan testing for. We did receive a couple of STAR requests yesterday of some big PPE donations, some more N95, surgical masks, and face shields, so we can make sure we're stockpiled in case there is a resurgence. And we are shifting towards recovery, looking at starting the process, as well as looking at a grant opportunity as well to buy supplies for an alternate care site if that was needed. That is the EOC update.
All the available PPE, or PPEs are becoming more available.
Yes. We've been chatting with the hospitals. We do a call with emergency managers for the hospitals and Premier ER. Their supply chains have returned back to normal, except on gowns. And I think boot covers are the only things that they're still lacking. We have put in a request for gowns, but have not received any from the state yet. I think that's still the hot commodity.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Judge,
Yes.
do you want an update on the CARES Act funding?
Yes, if you have one.
The CARES Act funding that's left over after going to the cities and counties of 500,000 or more is being split up amongst counties and cities based on population. I believe the county's share is less than 400 and something $1,000 for, I can't remember the exact amount.
Right. That's right, Mike. I'm looking right now.
But at any rate, 20% of that money we can get just on certification. And I sent certification form over this morning. And that 20% is primarily for reimbursing for the costs that you've incurred due to COVID-19. The other 80%, and there's some guidelines that just got put out, we're gonna have to look at them. You have to apply for, and I think you have to set out what types of programs you're going to use them for. And that would be more going forward stuff, like buying the personal protective equipment, stuff like that. But, it's an opportunity that we need to take advantage of. Like I say, the first 20%, you just have to make a certification that you're going to use it in accordance with the rules.
All right, also, I'd like to, in working on this, I'd like to ask, and Commissioner Jones, I meant to call you yesterday and just didn't get around to it, but see if you'd work with me and Francis and Dustin and then some other support staff, kind of scope in on all the things that we may qualify, whether it's through federal, state, or local funding. And so we would kind of scour all the different opportunities, build a spreadsheet on that, and then provide that information back to the court. As we're now's the appropriate time. The information is just coming out. Besides the CARES Act, there's other funding too that we would look at all of it. We try to get a broad look. So if you could help me on that, I'd appreciate it.
Of course.
Okay. Mike, anything else from you?
Oh, no, just that the CARES Act's this particular funding's already appropriated to McLennan County. So all we got to do is go get it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's see, and on back on Elizabeth's report, and I'd entertain a motion to approve it for recording purposes.
Second, make the motion.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Judge Devin Agamon or Amy Lowry. Dustin, if you could bring them, when they get on, we can go to that item number.
Amy is on.
Oh, hi, Amy.
Morning, Judge.
Let's go with that. Dustin, if you'll lead it off, this is item C under grants and grant proposals.
Good morning. So McLennan County Dwi Drug Court is applying for a grant. We are asking the Commissioners Court and Judge to approve a resolution for us. As you know, Dwi Drug Court is a voluntary court-monitored treatment program for adults unable to maintain sobriety that addresses the substance abuse issues and mental health issues of a participant. The court is led by Judge Vic Devanagam. It is a joint effort by the McLennan County Courts at Law, DA's office, the probation office, local treatment providers, including MHMR, substance abuse services, Centacor, Baylor University, and other members of our community. The program's been very successful, and we can sustain it at its current level, but the need for expanded services is very clear. So we need to grow, and so that's the reason for the grant request. The funding is through the U.S. Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Programs, and Bureau of Justice Assistance FY 2020 Adult Drug Court Competitive Grant, which is a really long name. We call it the BJA grant. And so the grant solicitation would allow our court to better serve additional participants and to provide more court comprehensive services to reduce recidivism. This is a 36-month grant, maximum amount request of $500,000. We have a 25% cash match of in kind, which would be provided through our drug court team. So there would be no requirement from the county. There's a monetary breakdown. I can go through that with you if you like. But once you take the match away, each year we'd have a working budget of about $111,000. So what we're wanting to add is a clinical case manager and a certified peer support specialist, and then just training and supplies. So the budget wouldn't go far, but it would really, really help our program. Again, stress, there's no monetary requirement requested from the county. We just really appreciate your continued support of the drug court program and respectfully request your support to pursue this funding to enhance the project and approve the resolution. Also, we found out yesterday that the Texas Veterans Commission grant that we requested in October was approved at its full request of $150,000 to support our Veterans Treatment Court. So we're super excited about that. So thank y'all.
Okay. Questions? All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the request for the grant proposal.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Pass. Dustin, if you would go to item under 2 regarding the Mike Kirby on the 2020 Help America Vote Act and the CARES Act grant authorization commission grant application related resolution.
Will do. Kathy Van Wolf is on another Zoom call this morning on election security. So if there's any specific questions, we can text her and get her over here. We can hold this item. But this is funding through the Help America Vote Act emergency funds that provides $400 million for different communities. to help just due to the COVID situation. Visited with Kathy, and of course we would have use for some of these funds. Talked to her yesterday, could be used for personal protective equipment, for additional staffing. There's really a laundry list of items that these could be used for. This could be very beneficial for us. We have not seen what our county's allocation is. This came down, I believe it was just last week. And so we wanted to go ahead and get it before the court. That way we could get the application submission approved and the resolution that goes along with it.
All right, any questions about that? And I'd like to include this in different grants that we're looking at for this committee to review, so we can kind of keep count, what we're applying for and what we're getting. Any questions about this? Is there a motion to approve the submission of the grant application?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller.
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under item 3, regarding the Homeland Security Grant Division for FY 2020 border, border prosecution unit grant authorization of proclamation. Dustin, do you have information on this?
Yes, sir. Back on May the 5th, we approved a application for the fiscal year 2020 grant. This grant requires a proclamation that goes along with it to be submitted with the application. So this is just the approval of the proclamation that goes along with the grant application.
Okay, any questions about that? If not, is there a motion to approve the proclamation?
Motion to approve.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
Judge,
Yes.
we had one other COVID item on M2, that guidance for county operations. I didn't know if you wanted to do it while we're hitting those items.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, if you don't mind, go.
Okay. Our office worked with some other entities. This is nothing new, and looked at CDC guidelines, just put together some guidance as the county continues to reopen. It's really just kind of some of the common sense stuff that we know, but we wanted to put it into some level of guidance and get it out to the court and see what y'all thought about it. It goes through, routine environmental cleaning, hand sanitizer stations, just, encourage people to leave doors open, county offices when that's possible. Also goes into employees, just reminding them to stay home when they're sick. It also encourages daily temperature checks of employees, has a daily health self-assessment for them to go through and check their symptoms, check any fever, and if they're reporting any of those symptoms, to not come to work. So we really just wanted the court to see this, to see if y'all thought this would be beneficial for us to send out to department heads and elected officials. So I know we sent it to y'all at the end of last week, and if you've had a chance to review it, just curious your thoughts and if you'd like us to roll this out by email.
Dustin,
Yes, sir.
do we have any way of checking temperatures?
We have been working with purchasing. We've ordered some digital thermometers that are coming in. So if departments wanted to use those, I think Ken can probably chime in. I think we got 20 in at the earlier this week, and there's more on order. We've also ordered some of the temporal thermometers that can be used as well. And so, really it's something, if an employee has it at home, they could do it before they come to work or at evening upon returning home, or we do have those the departments can use that we're starting to get in.
Who would be taking the temperatures?
I mean, it's really
supervisors or the employees themselves, or
if we did the daily ones at home, of course, the employees themselves, but I think we could ask the supervisor to do that. And Ken, we do have some with the probe covers, correct?
Yes, sir. We do. Did you hear that?
Yes.
And Dustin, how did you say that we're going to disperse those out to departments?
Just really wanted to look to y'all for some guidance on how to do it. And if, like I say, I think it was around 20 that came in either at the end of last week or the start of this week. So we've got some of those for departments, but we are encouraging people to do it at home as well, just to help, because there was a limited supply that we were able to get.
Okay, we felt like we need to have something to give guidance. We've had several departments that started opening 10 days ago or so and wanted some guidance. So working with resources available to us, CDC and others, the Clinton County Public Health District is where most of this comes from. This will be expanded to a certain extent, probably modified for their purpose for the judicial side. I had a meeting this morning on that and trying to figure out the massive job of trying to hold jury trials, actually all the way from calling prospective jurors to handling trials is going to be a real challenge. And I'm going to, for our part of it, to help after reviewing those protocols, is that we would ask our space group, because there's going to be 50 years of space needed, and so that would be the group with TJ and Jamie and that group to look at that. Any other questions or comments on that? I think having good guidance is a part of it. And by the way, we can, as we move into this, we would modify it to a certain extent. We can always bring it back and do that as well. I would recommend that the court approve it for recording purposes and make a motion to that effect. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made. Second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Vote.
Commissioner Snell.
Aye.
Commissioner Paul. Commissioner Miller.
Aye.
Judge Fulton.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Is Ronnie Marquand on? He is on.
He is.
Okay. Let's go to item under Q1, page 15.
I'm here, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Going to item Q, this is a discussion regarding the criminal justice issues. And I think there's here under recovery tracking and treatment since 1993. So if you would, go ahead with your presentation.
All righty. Well, good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. I am with Recovery Healthcare, also known as Recovery Monitoring Solutions. Hopefully you have your 8-page document in front of you, and we'll go ahead and move to page 2. Just a reminder of what services that we offer in Clinton County. And we've been operating continuously, and we've been open during this pandemic. We've been implementing all of the safe care that we have been prescribed by McLennan County and the governor. So we've been running continuously Monday through Friday, and we've got face masks, we've got gloves. We are taking daily temperature readings of our employees, and then we have touchless temperature infrared devices that we take a temperature reading of every client before they enter our office. So what are the services that we offer? On page 2, we offer the alcohol monitoring Scram Cam bracelet. We offer the alcohol monitoring portable device. We offer the GPS ankle monitoring bracelet, and we do drug testing. The drug testing that we offer is through a drug patch, urinalysis, and hair testing. So if you'll please go to page 3 of your handout sheet. This gives you a summary from when we began offering electronic monitoring in McLennan County. If you'll look near the bottom of page 3, this report gives us a grand total through January, from January through April of 2020, plus our previous years where we began in 2012. So we have enrolled 2,552 people in electronic monitoring. Successfully completed have been 2,240. Unsuccessful or arrested have been 404. Currently today on GPS electronic monitoring, we have 62 people being monitored. If you'll please go to page 4. Our statistics from when we began in October of 2012 all the way through last month, April 2020, we have a 85% completion rate of our electronic monitoring program. 15% have not completed the program successfully. If you'll please go to page 5, and this is great news. From when we began the program in 2012 all the way through last month of 2020, we've saved McLennan County $8,319,751 since we began the program. So it costs the county just a touch over $6 to put someone on electronic monitoring compared to the cost of housing someone in the McLennan County Jail. So we're real happy to report the 8 million plus savings since we began the program. If you'll please go to page 6. We currently have, including myself, 5 staff members. And for McLennan County only, we're servicing about 526 clients at the present time. If you will go to page 7, where can we increase our business a little bit more and save McLennan County a little bit more would be in bond cases, in pretrial services, which we're already helping, and then in certain felony cases that 19th and 54th District Court would approve to go on electronic monitoring. I do want to say and comment that we've grown quite a bit with 19th District Court and 54th District Court with certain felony cases since we began. And then our last page on page 8, we do our own monitoring in McLennan County. If you were to come to our conference room, you would see that the GPS people were watching every moment of the day, but we also have the backup of our Dallas office that monitors all of our GPS clients and alcohol monitoring clients 24/7. We are open till 5 o'clock Monday through Friday, but if a client has a question, they can call our office after hours and get answers. Let me go ahead and pause. I've been doing a lot of talking and turn it over to Judge and the commissioners.
Okay, the report's fairly self-explanatory. Any questions anyone would have? Okay. All right, does that conclude your report, Ronnie?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And we appreciate the opportunity to serve McLennan County. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I don't think that's an action item, so just a report. Going to, let's go back to the couple items that were held on the consent agenda. So Francis, are you prepared to give your report?
Yes, sir. Um, so this was related to E6F. So we provided a monthly report through the end of April. I don't have a detailed report today, but just wanted to give you an update of where we stood as of that date. Expenditures are on track, very similar to prior years. We're on track to come under budget. Revenues, of course, are a little bit different at this time because a lot of those have been affected by the COVID-19 situation. We'll be able to provide a little more information on what that looks like at one of the next meetings as we need more information to roll in. But other than that, everything looks good. If you have any questions, please let us know.
Okay, any questions? All right, we look forward to seeing the detailed report at the next meeting. Okay, let's go to item F under budget amendments. Yes. Okay, is there a motion to accept Francis' report for recording purposes?
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion been made, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell. Commissioner Snell.
Aye.
Commissioner Miller.
Aye.
Judge Bolton.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Passed. Under F, under budget amendments, transfers and changes under F1 regarding the FY20 budget. Francis?
Yes, so starting with F1A, I'll go through the 2020 budget amendments we have today. F1A is in the general fund, and this is in the sheriff's office. They're requesting to move within departments within the sheriff's office, Jack Harwell Detention Center, and the jail specifically, and moving around between the furniture and equipment lines in order to buy some medical equipment that is needed. F1B in the general fund, this is for county court at law number 1, and they're requesting to move around with their department into repair and maintenance for the renewal contract for the IS recording system. F1C, this is also in the general fund for the specialty court department. They would like to increase professional services by $2,500 for attorney fees. This is a department that at the beginning of this fiscal year, we didn't really have a specific budget set. As that's evolved, we've been increasing those lines as needed. So the request is to come from the contingencies line in the general fund. F1D, this is in the Justice Technology Fund. And the request is to increase line items related to the purchase of Adobe software, which you approved at the last week's Commissioners Court meeting. F1E, this is the Records Management Fund, and the request is to move within that fund into software licensing. It is for the renewal agreement with Excella Technologies for their scanner. F1F, this is back in the general fund. This is in the maintenance of equipment department, and they're requesting to move from supplies into repair and maintenance. And that is to cover the cost of those expenditures for the remainder of the year. F1G, this is in the County Clerk Records Management Fund, and the request is to move within that fund into equipment rentals for some equipment lease agreements. F1H, General Fund, this is for Road and Bridge Precinct 4, and the request is to move within, from a portion from their department and also a portion from the county-wide Road and Bridge Department. You discussed this at the last regular meeting, but they are requesting to increase line items for work to be performed by CP&Y and Lockwood, Andrews, and Newman, as well as some supplies to cover the rest of the year. In F1I, this is in the Permanent Improvement Fund, request to increase roof repairs for a couple facilities roofs, and that is coming from contingencies within that fund. And then F1J, General Fund, this is for County Health Services, and they would like to move some money within their department into furniture and equipment so that they can purchase a monitor.
Okay, are there any questions about those items?
I had a question on F1C on the $2,500 for attorney fees for the specialty courts. Do they say what those fees are from?
So they're the attorney fees for the participants that are, participating in like the Veterans Court. I think that is specifically for the Veterans Court. So that program does provide some attorney assistance to those participants, and then that department will cover those costs.
Okay.
Similar, I think, to indigent defense costs and things like that. Where
Correct.
Okay.
by statute, we have to provide a certain amount of defense.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve F1A through F1J?
Motion to approve.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Pass. Going to item F2 regarding the FY21 budget.
So I don't really have any new information on, like I said, on the next agenda, on the June 2nd agenda, we'll have some more information on, where we stand in the current year so that we'll know where we're moving towards for the next year. We'll also, I think on the June 16th agenda, we're hoping that we can get through special revenue funds and the debt service funds, and just, be really prepared to start July and get into the general fund. So don't have anything new today to present.
Okay. All right. So under F2A, this calendar here is we'll entertain a motion to approve this for recording purposes.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under G, under bids, RFPs, RFQs. Under G1's authorization recommendation of bid number 20-015 for Road and Bridge office building. Ken?
Yes, sir. We received bids from Flores Construction for $570,290. We received a bid from North Star for $765,300. We received a bid from L Minor Construction for $562,193.88. But I make a note, they did not submit their bid bond. We received a bid from John W. Irwin for $648,500. A bid from Built Right Construction for $649,000. A bid from Pearson Construction for $494,000. Masonic Construction, $569,000. Bar Construction for $557,235. A bid from Robinson Construction, $508,700. A bid from Mitchell Construction for $513,600. We recommend the court reject all bids for McLennan County Road and Bridge Precinct 2 office building. We believe it's in the best interest of the county to reduce the scope of work that was requested in this bid, and the reduced scope, of course, will result in a future lower proposed amount. We will be requesting permission to advertise for the next solicitation in the near future. And that's our recommendation to the court.
I'd like to add, we met with architect on the project, and I'm not sure when the building expanded past what we initially asked for, but it greatly expanded past what we initially asked for. And when the bids came back in, it was clear that between the drawing and the budget that the architect submitted, there was a great inconsistency. So after talking legal and Ken and the architect, in order to get back to the scope for the building, we've got to and start. We're going to come back at the next meeting with the proposals as opposed to going out for bid.
Good Lord.
Say what?
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Any questions? If not, is there a motion to purchase recommendation to reject all bids?
move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, and call for vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under the authorization of renewal of bid number 16-01 for printing for various departments from farm and business farms.
Yes, sir. We have the current bid, bid 16-013. The initial term for this contract was for 1 year starting July 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2017. The contract included an option to renew annually at the discretion of the Commissioner's Court. Discretion of the Commissioner's Court. We consulted with Trigger Furman and received an email from him stating he would like to renew his contract another year with no increase in pricing. We respectfully submit this request to renew bid 16-013 at the current pricing. If approved, the bid will be in effect from July 1, 2020 through June 30th of 2021.
Okay, any questions about that? If not, what's the pleasure of the court? I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under H is contracts and local agreements. Under H1 is authorization of engagement letter with Gabriel Roeder, Smith and Company. This is for North Texas Council of Government post-employment benefits, county standards board. Francis.
Yes, so this is our agreement with Gabriel Roeder and Smith. They're the actuaries that put together our report on our OPEB plan, and this is used in our financial report every year.
Okay, any questions about that? Is there a motion to approve? I'll move. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion, any discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under H, authorization and local cooperation agreement with Travis County on the purchase of surplus Kodak document scanner. Ken?
Yes, sir. The elections found a scanner that works with their current system that maybe not available virtually now, but Travis County said that they would sell us one of theirs. It's in their surplus. They required an interlocal to make that purchase. The purchase price is $500. And so we just need to sign it to buy that scanner for elections.
Okay, any questions about that? Not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Made second, no discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller, Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Pass under H3 is authorization of annual contract renewal on Hart Texas Solutions. This is for Road Bridge Precinct 2. Commissioner Miller.
Yes, this is the annual maintenance agreement out to the yard with the HOT Solutions. And I would ask that we would approve it.
Is that a motion?
Yes, sir.
Have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under H4 is regarding the United States Marshal Service intergovernmental agreement 80-10-0033, authorization of modification of contract order. This obligates the U.S. Marshal Service for a prior funding total of $24,532.75 for detainee services at the Jack Harlow Detention Center. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion made and second. Any other discussion, call for a vote?
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under H5, authorization and local cooperation agreement with the city of Ross for culverts and road shredding and trim work. Jones.
This is just an interlocal agreement with the city of Ross for some work. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under H6, authorization and local cooperation agreement with the city of Golson. Also, Commissioner Jones under his precinct.
This is a interlocal agreement with the city of Golson to do some culvert work, flex base in the parking lot of the new municipal building, and chip seal some roads. Motion to approve.
The next is on Leroy, kind of same program.
Yes.
Okay.
Shred, chip seal, second coat.
Is that a motion to approve H6 and H7?
Motion to approve H6 and H7.
Motion been made second.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Pass. Under H8, authorization of professional service agreement related to drilling and laboratory services proposal with Langerman Foster Engineering Company. This is for Rattler Hill low water crossing proposal number GEO 20-056. Zane?
Yes, sir, Judge. This item is to build geotechnical borings. There's 3, the amount of 4,300. That'll help us determine the substrata below the low water crossing. My recommendation is approval.
Okay, any questions? The amount is $4,300 lump sum. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Dalton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Pass. Under under capital improvements, repairs and maintenance, under I-1s regarding the Surrey Ridge Improvement Project agreement with Knife River Corporation. Under I-1A is authorization of application payment number 17. Zane, you reviewed this.
Yes, sir. I-1A is payment application number 17 in the amount of $8,635.23. And item I-1B is payment number 18 in the amount of $26,412.98. Both of those are the next pay applications for the Surrey Ridge Road project, and they're recommended for approval.
Zane,
Yes, sir.
is there anything else they have left to do? Is this the last payment?
It won't be the last payment. We're still holding tainage, but yes, this should be the last payment for standard work operations.
What about the cracking that we had going on? Has that been taken care of?
It has been taken care of. There's not been any cracking that can be seen since they corrected the issue.
And then what about Mr. Wolf's gate?
Mr. Wolf has been taken care of, and he hasn't had any further complaints.
Good, thank you.
Okay, hearing that, is there a motion to approve I-1A and I-1B?
Motion to approve.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Dalton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Pass. Under J, under real estate right of ways, we have nothing this week. Under K, under grants, under K1 regarding the Bureau of Justice Assistance Bulletproof Vest Partnership Program. This is authorization of grant application solutions. Dustin?
Yes, sir. This is the annual Bulletproof Vest grant that we apply for. Sometimes they limit funding to jurisdictions with a population under 100,000. That's what happened this past year. But I believe the previous year we did receive some funding. So we feel it's worthwhile to apply each year just in case they do expand that funding. So we just need approval of the application submission.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the application submission.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Dalton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Pass. Under K2 regarding the Texas Community Block Grant, authorization request to release for release of funds for certification on the water and sewer improvement in the unincorporated community of Elmont. This is number 7219270.
This is on the water meter replacement project in Elmont. There's a public comment period going on right now. Once that's done, that'll wrap up the environmental review phase of the grant. And the next step's actually to begin work. That's scheduled to begin in mid-June. So this is the next step to actually get the authority to use those grant funds to begin the work in Elmont.
Okay, any questions? Not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made and second. No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Dalton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Pass. Under K3 regarding the Criminal Justice Division of the Coronavirus Emergency Supplemental Funding. This is a discussion or action on the grant application submission. Dustin, do you have?
And Judge, this may be something, I know the Emergency Management Office was going to apply to be able to get some additional PPE and a potential another care site, and I see Elizabeth on, so.
She's on. Okay, Elizabeth?
Yes, sir. So this is a regional grant that our region has been allocated $547,000. And so that what we're looking at doing is buying additional PPE for a potential resurgence in the fall. We want to make sure that we have a good stockpile. And the other things that we've been looking at is, as we all know, we are building for an alternate care site if the worst case scenario starts to happen. And there are some medical supplies that are needed for that alternate care site. With Hot Rack doing a lot of the work behind it and managing it, I figured this would be a good contribution from the county side, to use this grant money to purchase any items they may need, from catheters, Foleys, blood pressure cuff machines, and so on, things that would be necessary. The minimum amount is $10,000. There's a no match required. And so that's why we're trying to apply for this grant.
Okay. Any questions anyone have? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Passed. Under L, Department Office, special request under L1 tax assessment collector designation of McLennan County homestead exemptions for 2020 tax roll. The tax office submitted a request to McCAD, the McLennan County Appraisal District, requesting the status of the county's homestead exemption to be offered on the 2020 tax roll. Currently the McLennan County offers the following. Under county homestead, it's 20% with a minimum of 5,000. And then under the county 65 and over or disabled homestead is 20% or 5,000 minimum plus $35,000. Any discussion on this?
It's just standard annual request.
Yeah, it's a standard annual.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Pass. Under L2 is purchasing authorization of online auction with Renee Bates and related ad in order declaring certain property as surplus and authorizing disposition of the same. Ken, do you have any specific things to talk about on it? Ken, your microphone.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. We have items at the Cobb's building, odds and ends. We have equipment at Road and Bridge Precinct 1 and Road Bridge Precinct 2, 3, and 4. Our auction is tentatively scheduled to begin on May 22nd and go through the and I'm sorry, I meant to bring this up earlier, but I need to correct something I said earlier. We do have the digital thermometers in our possession. The sleeves we will not have until next week, but I wanted to correct that for it since I thought, but we will should have the sleeves next week to go with the thermometers.
So this is disposition of excess property, and you have identified here where it comes from. So is there any questions anyone would have? Not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
To approve. Second.
Motion been made, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Bolton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. This is under L3 Information Technology authorization of hotspot option for on-call device. This IT would like to add a hotspot feature to their one cell phone that currently be $39 a month plus taxes and fees. The fee added to the hotspot with additional $2 a month for a total of $41.99 other taxes and fees. Any questions on that?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller. Aye. Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under L4 juvenile probation authorization phone request. Two juvenile detention officers that currently share an office and phone will be moving into separate offices. They will require an additional phone and license. IT can provide a repurposed phone, return to their on-hand delivery from the phone refresh department. Licensing is also available. There will be no additional cost incurred. Is there a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll
Second.
Second call for vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under M3, this is a selection designation of public members salary grievance committee. We do not have a need to draw. Is that true?
L5. Back to the top of the page. We left, we didn't get the maintenance building request for ATT.
Okay, under L5, maintenance of buildings, authorization of request for A&T cell phone plan change.
Yes, sir. TJ currently had a plan that was a 300-minute plan at $59 a month. He's been exceeding the 300 minutes fairly regularly. In the last 6 months, we've paid over $96 on the overages. We've checked into changing his plan to an unlimited plan, and the unlimited plan is at a cost of $69.99 per month. So I think it's a good for us to make that switch.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller, Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under M3, selection and designation of public members for the salary grievance. Is that no need for that? So we'll skip that. Under M4, discussion or action regarding the 2020 Texas Association of Counties Risk Management Pool Employee Safety Equipment Program for law enforcement.
Last court, we had the program on for road and bridge and maintenance of buildings. Last year, they did everything together, including law enforcement. This year, they split out the law enforcement piece. The total for the county is $10,240.30, and this allows us to select pre-approved safety equipment that's directly related to law enforcement. So this covers both the sheriff's office and the constable's office. Last year, I know David Ives kind of headed that part up of the program on the law enforcement side. So we would recommend that we approve this this program from TAC and then allow David Ives work with the constables and the sheriff's office to divvy the funds.
Okay.
Motion to approve M4.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye. Pass. Going to, under item M5 regarding the Clinton County Group Health Program, Amanda. Is there a motion to defer?
Motion to defer.
Or second? Second. Motion made and second. Any discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Pass. Under M7 is the under M6 is discussion or action regarding the Law Library Committee recommendation. Dustin?
As the court will remember, we started the Law Library Committee back up last year through members of the bar. They've made their recommendations for the next fiscal year. They would like to see upgraded desktops and larger monitors at the 3 computer terminals. I have checked with IT. The desktops we have there are more than capable and are kind of the standard county issues. So we don't see a need to upgrade those, but do think the larger size monitors would help people accessing those services. They also requested a new copier, scanner, printer that has a credit card reader, and they'd also like to see the page per copy drop down to the cost of that to 5 cents a page. It's currently 10 cents a page. And then they would also request a law library kind of a decoration allowance. There are some old bar photograph kind of collages and other things they would like to frame and have in that area. So we wanted to get this in plenty of time for budget. These can be discussed during budget, but wanted to get these before the court so you could see what their recommendations were. So at this time, we can accept these for recording purposes. And then as we get into budget, we can make more specific decisions. We do have are working with to get a quote on the copier that has a credit card reader. I believe it's around 8,000 or 9,000. Need to go back because they are requesting free image scanning where they could scan some of the documents to email accounts. I just need to make sure that's included, but we'll have all that ready for budget time.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve for recording purposes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Pass. Under M7 is authorization intergovernmental transfer of funds derived from the county health care provider participation fund mandatory payments to provide the non-federal share of a supplemental payment program and authorize under the Texas Healthcare Transformation and Quality Improvement Program, otherwise known as 1115 waiver. And the non-federal share of Medicaid rate increase for hospital services available under the Uniform Health Rate Increase program. So Heather on. Dustin, can you talk about this?
Yes, sir. This is be an IGT from the LPPF, the Local Provider Participation Fund, from that account balance up to the $15,813,586.
I see Heather on there. Okay. Any additions? Anything else, Heather?
No, just it's been mentioned that in response to the COVID-19 pandemic that HHSC is accelerating the timeline for these payments. So we're going to see several more. They're going to kind of smush 6 months into 2 months worth of payments.
Okay.
Why is that?
Well, I'm guessing that it's So they've, I guess, received some kind of correspondence or concerns about a cash flow concern with the hospitals. So what they've told me is they're just accelerating the timeline for supplemental payments to assist hospitals with their cash flow concerns.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under item N, an American with Disability Compliance Project and authorization professional service invoice for CPNY for the ADA study and report for April. The amount is it's detailed is $7,450.14. Any questions about that? If not, is there a motion to approve that payment?
Motion to approve.
Motion been made. Is there a second? I'll second. Yeah, any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Let's see. Going to the supplemental, and the proof of posting's already been stated on it. Under supplemental, under B is consideration or action on the following. Under 1 is action on the COVID-19 related termination of the Class C misdemeanor jail housing interlocal agreement with the city of Waco. Dustin?
Yes, sir. Several years ago, we entered into an agreement with the city of Waco to allow for housing of Class C misdemeanors in the jail, and they had paid a set amount to secure some beds. Due to the COVID situation, Judge Taylor, City of Waco's municipal judge, doesn't foresee any Class C misdemeanors that would spend a significant amount of time in jail unless they had a more serious county charge. So they've requested that we terminate this contract. I visited with Major Armstrong. He's okay with that. Of course, it's a commissioner's court decision, but those beds won't be used. The city was paying in advance for them. So we think the fair thing is to terminate this agreement.
Okay, and then once things are back to normal, then we'll probably reestablish that.
Yes, and we can revisit it and bring, if the city would like to move back forward with it, we'll bring it back to the court.
Okay. Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. I know we've gone about an hour and a half without a break, but I would like to squeeze in under Q3 under discussion and action on county property. Just an update from any of the members of the space committee that's been working on projects and kind of give it. So Zane or TJ, with Ken.
Hey, good morning, Judge. How are you?
Morning.
All right, so we'll just kind of go briefly down the line of what we've got going at the moment and where we're going in the near future. So the Highway 6 F-Wing project, the relocation of the garage is going well. We're finalizing some of the final pieces to get Wayne all set up and moved in. I met with Sean and the SO yesterday to discuss some additional items that they're going to be needing for the final transition, all the SWAT vehicles and all those things. So we're moving forward with all that stuff. We're making space out at Cobb's for the remaining items in the garage that don't need to go out to the jail facility. So everything there is in really good shape. So where we're going in the future right now, we're discussing with CPNY on the MHMR ADA modifications and upgrades to that building. We're starting discussions with them for the records building ADA upgrades to that facility. Cobb's Annex parking, we're looking at doing some chip seal and possibly some restriping in the parking lot over there. So that project's going well. We are going to start addressing our contractors again and coming up with some fresh pricing on the asbestos abatement and demolition in the downtown jail. So we can bring that to the court and discuss with you guys on how you want to proceed in the future with that facility. We've got a small project meeting next week for the fairgrounds elevator and ADA project. So hopefully we get some good information come out of that with some good start dates and timelines. Other than that, we're looking at the maintenance and purchasing building on what can be done with it as far as the second floor for regaining a little bit of space over here, and just continuing on with some small projects here and there. Do any of you guys have any questions for us or anything you'd like to see us start working on?
I've got one comment or addition to your report, TJ, as y'all are kind of finishing up work out at Trading House Park and looking good. It's coming along real well. We can see that that work will be completed possibly in sometime in June, middle of June or so. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
That's correct. Yeah. And thanks to Commissioner Miller and Road and Bridge too. Those guys have really come together and helped us out there. So it's been a huge success. So what we've got is we've got to finalize our little last bit of asphalt projects on the parking lots, and then we'll be ready to do a little ribbon cutting ceremony, hopefully by the end of June, if you guys are ready for it.
Yeah. Okay. And what we can probably do on that is we can do it on a court date that's already posted, and then go out there at the end of the session or at some particular time during the day and just have a kind of tour of the facility and ribbon cutting or cook a hot dog or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Hey, TJ.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Fernando Villarreal, Judge JP, had been in my office the other day, and he was going to get with you to see if what would be the best way to see if he can add some storage space at his facility. Do you talk to him about that?
No, he hadn't reached out to me just yet. So I'll touch base with him though.
If we can just look at that, because he's having I mean, they've got boxes stacked in the courtroom. They've got boxes stacked in their office.
I noticed that. Yeah.
And if we could just come up with a low cost way to expand one of those walls, build a little storage room onto what he's got, I think would help him out a lot.
Sure. I'll touch base with him and I'll see what he's thinking, and we'll come up with a good plan.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions on for TJ or any of those guys on that group? And as I mentioned earlier, we will need to work with the Judge Strother, administrative judge, and to adopt a plan. It's going to take some real planning on putting up physical barriers or even looking for other places to hold court. And we would, in that group, we would include security as part of that too. And that's kind of probably one that's pretty hot. We need to get on it, although we haven't received a lot of information from OCA yet, but we will be getting that. Okay, is there if there's not any other questions for TJ or the group, is there a motion to approve his report for recording purposes?
Judge, it was actually a work session, so we're good.
Yeah, that's right. All right, anything else on the work session? What I was going to do is I want to go back to one of the pulled items that is the department head incentive pay discussion to be done in executive committee. Is there any other items that we might have missed, Mercedes or Dustin or Reagan? I think we've got them all. Okay, good.
Judge, on the executive session, I would recommend that Francis stay in it as well as Amanda.
Okay. All right, and then Dustin will stay in it as well. Okay, if not, let's take a 5-minute recess and then we'll come back, go into open session, and then from there go into executive session. Okay, let's call the meeting back in session. I'd like to go to item E3E, E3C that was pulled under the consent agenda. And for discussion of that, I'd like to go in executive session under section 551.074 of the government code regarding personnel matters. Okay. laughing, Will?
Hey, it shows we're back streaming live. We exited the breakout room.
All right, join again.
We'll get it figured out one day. Probably when we don't need to do it anymore.
Okay, calling court back into regular session. All right, going back to under item E3C. Okay, Dustin, if you'll frame the action item.
Yes, sir. So at this time, we'll just be considering the one department head incentive pay for Director of Maintenance of Equipment. I would encourage a motion that he be paid at the maximum amount of incentive pay based on his score and how that relates to the policy, and that it be included on his final paycheck.
So move.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? If not, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Your mute's on. Still on.
One click.
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Colton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, Dustin, additional instructions.
Yes, we will send out an updated incentive pay list for the department heads to the commissioners. And before the next meeting, y'all can study that and fill it out and submit it back to Francis, Amanda, and myself. Then we'll bring those forward as an action item on the next agenda.
Okay. Okay, is there anything else to come before the court? If not, we stand adjourned.